Juggalos and Juggalettes, this is your big homie Big Ian coming at you live and direct for Faygoluvers.net with a new exclusive interview with Slaine of Coka Nostra. Slaine, how you doing today?
Doing great, man. I'm looking forward to the album coming out on Tuesday.
Yeah, man, and obviously, top of the hour, the number one thing we wanted to talk to you about tonight is we want to talk to you about your new album coming out Tuesday, The Boston Project. Right off the bat, first thing that comes to mind that I'm sure your fans want to know is, what makes The Boston Project special? What makes it different from your last release, A World With No Skies?
Well, A World With No Skies was of a, kind of a personal opus, you know what I mean? But Boston Project is a picture of the city where I'm from, and it's a collaboration album. It's not a compilation. I'm on every song. There's Blue Balls produced 13 out of 17 songs. Very cohesive album, but it also has several narrators on it besides me. There's 30 different artists on the record, and it just has. I like every project I do to sound different. I don't want to keep the same thing. That's the type of dude I am. That's not the kind of artist I am. So every time you take on kind of a different project, I want it to have a different sound. I want to take it in a different direction. So the scope of this project is very ambitious. It's very big. And proud of it, man. I think people are going to be blown away by it, honestly.
Okay, and that was one of the things that I noticed when I was looking over the album, is that it does seem to have a ton of collaborations on it. Are there any sort of shining collaborations that you're trying to highlight or that you think your fans will particularly enjoy?
Well, I think different people are going to like different stuff. What I did is I worked with, the whole concept of the album was to work with people in Boston that came up in the same generation as me, and some people who are the legendary dudes who kind of paved the way for us. And then, and then also to put some of the younger cats on that I think are dope. So there's so many different lanes and styles of hip hop on it. I had one producer pretty much produce the whole thing because I wanted to give it a consistency. So, that's the reason there's so many collaborations, is because that's the concept of the album.
All right. Now, for anybody who wants to go out and pick up this album on the 16th, where's a good place where people can pick it up?
If you want to get it shipped directly to your house, and I signed a ton of posters with the pre-order package that comes right from Subnoise. Comes with the T-shirt, signed poster, and an album for like $24.99. That's the pre-order link, but I'm sure you can get it even if you want to get it on Tuesday or Wednesday to ship out. And it'll be in local record stores, which we know are kind of a dying breed anyways. Mm-hmm. So, things are moving into the digital era. I know a lot of people seem to be opposed to iTunes or whatever, but honestly, that's what gives artists the most power. Because that's what keeps you relevant. That's what makes noise. It sound scans, it charts on Billboard, and it becomes, it makes noise for the idiots. For people who want to overlook what we do here in the underground. Everybody who listens to underground music needs to step up and support underground artists.
Okay, so the album will be available on iTunes and digital distributors as well?
Yes, of course.
One of the other things that I know a lot of people have been curious about is that last year there was an announcement that you and MadChild were going to be working on a project together, and we had interviewed him and asked him about that since, but it had been very close to the announcement and there hadn't been any news related to it. Has there been any progress made on that front? Is there any news about this project?
In January, we went up for about 10 days to Vancouver, and we got in the lab and we just went bananas. So, I'd say we're good on the record. That being said, Swollen has a new album coming out. I have a new album coming out right now. I think he has something scheduled for the summer, a solo album, and so do I. And I think realistically, you're looking at the Slaine and MadChild project to become out, in the late fall this year or early 2014.
Have there been any group names or concepts for the project discussed, or is it just that's okay? Anything that you can share?
But we're not presenting it publicly yet. We're still working on kind of a special presentation together for all that.
Something else that I know a lot of your Juggalo and Juggalette fans want to know about is that in 2012 you performed a solo set at the Gathering of the Juggalos, and I was actually there. I saw you perform. You were very well received, and so I know that something else a lot of people are wondering is, will we be able to see you at the Gathering this year?
I'd love to do it again if they invite me back. For sure, I had a blast. I didn't know how to be received. Just do me and let the chips fall where they may. It was great. I mean, I know I got a lot of Juggalo fans across the country just from touring and seeing the kids really come out and represent for me, and that means a lot to me. I appreciate it. It's obviously it's true that it's crazy, man. So it's definitely cool to perform that. I'd love to do it again.
Do you think that we would ever get to see a La Coka Nostra performance at the Gathering?
Who knows? I think, I think in 06 or 07 we were supposed to, and it kind of fell apart at the last minute due to some, I don't know, behind the scenes stuff, I guess.
I gotcha.
It just didn't work out for some reason, so.
Okay, well, while we're on the subject of LCN, y'all's second album, Masters of the Dark Arts, came out last year, and very well received. And since then, I know that there's been a lot of discussion among people about, is it going to take the, because there was a very big gap in time between a Brand You Can Trust and Masters of the Dark Arts. Do you think that there will be as long of a time period until a new La Coka Nostra release, or what do you think the deal is there?
I don't think you're looking at I think it was about 3 years exactly between them. I don't think you're looking at 3 years, but being that the guys all live in different places across the country, it's and we all have other projects. I think you're looking at something like, a year and a half or two from the release of the last album.
Last question relating to La Coka Nostra is, before Masters of the Dark Arts came out, there was an announcement that Everlast had to leave the group for, personal reasons. He was dealing with, his daughter was ill at the time and stuff. And, obviously I know that that's a very sensitive issue, but was there any discussion among the band members about if this was a final absolute decision? Was the door left open where he could return for a future project, or where does Everlast stand with La Coka Nostra?
Yeah, the door's open. I just don't know last life right now to be able to, with the group when he has such. I mean, it's his daughter having cystic fibrosis is not something that's going to go away, and obviously he's and doing his solo stuff, but I think a whole set of responsibilities, heavy responsibilities, comes along with his daughter for the rest of her life. So I don't know that he's going to be able to, when we all do these different projects, that's a lot of time. It's a lot of work away on the road. So I think Everlast is just concentrating on his solo career, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Everybody got to do what they got to do. Everlast is always going to be a mentor to me. He was one of my favorite artists before I ever met him, and it was an honor to work with him and kind of learn under his way.
Slaine, I think that's all the questions I've got for you right now. Is there anything else you'd like to say to all your fans?
Yeah, just to thank everybody who's actually going out and supporting that. I said it's really important as far as representing for the kind of music that we make on the underground, because we're not doing the stuff that's really getting love on the radio or on TV. We do this underground style. So if you're rocking with that kind of music, buy it.
Juggalos and Juggalettes, this has been Slaine from La Coka Nostra, and Big Ian, we're out.